Alex, I have to ask you about being on waivers. Is that the first time, and what were your feelings as the process was going on?
Yeah, that was the first time in my career. Be the first one to admit it was a little bit disappointing as a player. Not towards the organization, but towards myself. I think it hasn't been the start of the season I was hoping for. Obviously, with all the new addition of extra players and all that, I was hoping to get off to a better start. I'm not sure what day it was, but I think it was on Monday. I was a little bit nervous. You never know what's going to happen, whether you got to pack and leave and where you're heading to, or you're staying here. So, you know what? It's on me now. I think I'm here. Hopefully, I get a few opportunities again, and I got to make sure I find a way to stay in the lineup and find a way to put some point on the board. I haven't had many scoring chance. I haven't capitalized of any of them really. So, you know what? It's go back to putting the time in practice, preparation. You're trying to find your spot mentally, and hopefully I can get back to that gym sooner than later.
This year, though, with the waivers, it does seem like it's more of a move to just take a player off a roster and put him on the taxi squad rather than, we don't like you, you're going to the minors. Is that how you look at it? I mean, most guys on waivers, they just want to move them to the taxi squad, but because they've played a long time in the league, they got to put them on waivers.
Yeah, if I played well, I don't think they put me on waivers, so that's how I see it.
Rob Tychkowski, Post Media.
Hey, Alex, just wondering what you remember about that game in Calgary late last season and what it was like to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, actually, that night was my 500 career game, so definitely one that I remember, and just kind of a little bit of everything, and kind of the what Calgary and Edmonton's been the last type of games it's been the last 2 or 3 years. Both teams have come a long way. We each have really good teams. I think personally, so there's a lot of emotions in those games. I know I was on the ice when all that went down. Yeah, it's the fun of hockey. I think on both sides, just lots of emotions. I think it's the fact that the two teams have been successful in a way where more dangerous team in the season and in the standings. I think each of those games just mean a little bit more, and I'm sure that those types of emotions will be there again this year.
With the way the North Division is set up this year, and not only are you playing them 10 times, but the stakes are so much higher because it seems like there's going to be 3 or 4 teams or 4 or 5 teams fighting for the final 2 playoff spots. It just seems to add even more to the element this season.
Yeah, it's in a way it's games seem to be so tight, and then when teams go to overtime, they gain a point where usually you play. I don't know. Let's say we play in the normal year. We play Carolina. We go to overtime. That point's huge for us, but it doesn't really. The point that Carolina gets for overtime doesn't really affect us in the long run, where this year every team, if you don't win regulation, you go to overtime, points add up. So we kind of dug ourselves in the hole. We're back to 500 here, 6-6 here. So I think our team's heading in the right direction. Obviously, the next road trip here is is crucial for us. You don't want to fall behind too far, and I think we can, as a team, we can take our game to the next level. I think we got a couple more, better play from us, and I think it'll help out. And I think every game it just seems like every game you watch or you just look at the standing, and games are so close. So they're all a little bit of playoff series.
Jack Michaels, 630 Ched.
Alex, I'm just wondering, you're not necessarily known as a fighter. Do you feel a little bit cheated? Because after all, was it not you and Mangiapane who was kind of the first bout brewing there, and then it just got, swallowed up in the other two? Do you feel like you got kind of robbed of glory there?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think I'm 0 for 10 in my career in fighting, so it happens. It's never been, a key part of my game. I think sometimes emotions happen, and it's just part of hockey. But yeah, I remember that play. I'm not sure if it was just him or maybe Lindholm was in there, and then the rest was history. So, that's just kind of how the game went, where the play happened.
My follow-up was, were you free from the confrontation long enough to see Darnell order Cam to go see Smitty at center? Because that was something that I think a lot of people got a kick out of.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I was like on the ice for like 30 seconds. Like the ref was on me, someone else was on me. I couldn't get out, and then finally I got out. I think Bearsy was fighting Tkachuk, and then Smitty and Cam were going off center ice, and then everyone was just cheering. It was loud. It was just, you can't make this up. So, like I said, it was my 500th career game, and just a lot happened that night, definitely.
Last question in English, Jim Matheson.
A couple of things, Alex. Do you notice around the league that there's other divisions getting lots of COVID problems, and yet the division that you're in doesn't seem to have any? And do you look and say, what are we doing right? And they're not doing right.
I don't want to get too much into that. I think just as Canada in general, I think there's been so much restrictions here in Alberta, or in Quebec where I'm from, even Ontario when we were there a couple of weeks ago. So there's not a whole lot to do, and I think for us as a team, we realize how big of an impact that can have in our team. I'm hoping the majority of the guys just try to be as careful as they can, and it seems like our team has done a good job. And I think as our whole division too, it sounds like everyone has done good. But you get one bad luck break, and you've seen it on teams. It spreads like wildfire. So it's just got to be careful. It's just I know I guess it sounds cliche, but if our team can stay healthy, then we don't have to play condensed schedule, and we're allowed to have like 2 or 3 days off here, like we're having, to get guys back healthy and get our game back.
Thank you.
We'll now take a couple questions in French. Patrick Henry, Radio-Canada.
Bon, Alex, je veux revenir sur le processus du ballottage cette semaine. Est-ce qu'on t'a parlé avant de soumettre ton nom? Est-ce qu'on t'a expliqué c'était quoi la stratégie puis comment tu as vécu ça personnellement, parce que c'est une première pour toi?
Patrick, j'irai pas dans les détails. Comme je disais en anglais, je pense que j'ai pas eu le début de saison que j'espérais en tant que joueur. Puis ça fait partie de business du hockey. J'ai été échangé au travers de ma carrière. C'est la première fois maintenant que j'ai été sur les waivers. Donc, évidemment, je pense que personnellement, ça a été un moment un petit peu plus difficile. Mais si mon jeu, si j'avais joué à la hauteur de mes capacités, je pense pas que ça serait arrivé.
Comment tu évalues ton jeu, justement? Parce que tu n'as pas de points, tu n'es pas sur la feuille de pointage, mais tu as eu des bons matchs quand même depuis le début de la saison, là.
Ouais, j'ai pas mal joué. J'ai eu quelques bons matchs et j'ai un petit peu manque de constance dans ma game au travers de 60 minutes. Donc, évidemment, je pense que je value pas ma partie personnelle avec les buts ou les passes, les points. Mais à un moment donné, il faut que tu commences à produire. Puis, c'est pas été le cas pour moi depuis le début de la saison. Donc, retrousse les manches, continue de travailler. J'ai fait ça au travers de ma carrière. Ça ne changera pas à cause de ça. Donc, je contrôle ce que je peux contrôler. Puis, le reste, en espérant que ça va bien se passer.
Une dernière, vous jouez contre les Flames en fin de semaine. Ça a brassé beaucoup l'an passé. On a vraiment senti la rivalité de la bataille de l'Alberta comme dans les années 80. Est-ce que cette année, ça va ressembler à ça, tu penses, ou l'enjeu est trop grand pour qu'on puisse être déconcentré du match puis il va falloir juste jouer au hockey?
Non, je pense que ça fait partie un peu de la rivalité entre les Oilers et les Flames, les émotions, tout ça. Ça ne veut pas dire nécessairement qu'il va y avoir que ça va se passer comme ça s'est passé l'année passée, mais habituellement, il y a toujours des émotions dans les matchs. Pour la majorité, la plupart de l'équipe, les équipes, c'est le même corps, le même groupe de joueurs. Donc, j'imagine que samedi, ça va être un match avec beaucoup d'émotions. Puis c'est 2 points qui est très important pour les deux équipes.